Hey there again, it's Brian here, and today I want to talk to you about anxiety and resilience. I'm very aware that this is a very challenging time of year for many of us, and it's particularly challenging this year, of course, because of the COVID situation that we're all having to go through. Certainly here in the UK, where lockdown measures have intensified because of the need to contain the virus that's continuing to spread, and now there's a new strain which seems to be spreading more quickly than others, and it's a very difficult time because obviously it's important to keep people safe, it's important to be responsible, but many people in the UK are feeling really quite battered at the moment because it looked like a normal-ish Christmas was going to be possible for a few days, but the government has tightened up on the regulations over the Christmas period because of the need to contain the virus. And it means that many people who thought they were going to be spending Christmas with loved ones are now no longer going to be able to do that. Although it is possible for people who are in support bubbles where they're in extended households with one isolated person to continue to meet. For most people who are going to bubble over Christmas with other households and have a reasonably jolly time, for many parts of the country that's not going to be possible. So there are a lot of disappointed people out there this year, and we're perhaps more aware of that than we normally are. But of course, Christmas is a really challenging time for many people all through the years, and it can be a very difficult, stressful time for people. It can be a time that really challenges people's mental health, because there's a lot of pressure on people at Christmas time. A lot of family issues, of course, come up at Christmas time. It can be very close quarters when it's not the pandemic era. Many of us are in situations where we find it difficult to feel free and easy and relaxed. And for some of us, we're fortunate enough to not be in that scenario, but I know that many people are. So what I wanted to do was give you an offering of two things this Christmas season that I hope in some small way will help. I'll get to those in a moment, because what I want to say before I get into those, these are tools that are designed to help with anxiety and help build resilience. But before we go into the, getting on with it stuff, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that, if you are feeling down at the moment, if you are feeling frustrated about the whole kind of COVID situation, if you are feeling depressed and angry and annoyed at changes to government policy, if you are feeling disappointed by what's happening, that's okay. You're allowed. So I just want to encourage you not to fall into the trap of one, feeling miserable, and then two, feeling bad about yourself for feeling miserable. It's okay, despite what all of the pressures we find ourselves under this season, to be terribly jolly and getting on with things in a very merry kind of way. It's absolutely okay if you don't feel that way this year or any year. It's absolutely okay to allow yourself to feel how you feel. So I just wanted to say that, because what I'm going to offer you is not about trying to make you feel something you don't feel, but it is about helping you to cope with anxiety that you might be experiencing, and also helping you to build some resilience that I know you have inside you. I absolutely know you have. If you're here now watching this, then I know that you are resilient, because for any of us to be here watching this, we've got to have weathered some storms. So I just want to acknowledge that, because I don't think we often enough acknowledge what we've been through to get to where we are. We often spend time thinking about what we should be doing and where we should be going, and actually sometimes it's enough to just be where you are and to acknowledge yourself for getting there. So with that said, the two things I want to share, the first one is a tarot spread, another tarot spread, and this one is my Christmas anxiety spread. Let me just find it. So here we are, and again I'm going to link below. This is on my Instagram, so I will link below so you can see it. This is a spread where you pull the first 3 cards face down. You shuffle the entire deck and you select the first 3 cards face down. And then you select a further 5 cards, and I'm going to tell you what those cards are about in a second. But the first 3 cards, the first one, you're doing this to acknowledge your anxiety and think about your anxiety and what you're worried about. So the first card is asking you to reflect on how the worry is impacting upon you, and just give yourself time to sit in that and acknowledge that, and be still with that, and to journal any insights you might have. And this is about getting in touch with the anxious feelings that you're having and what comes from that. What comes from that in terms of your own experience, your bodily experiences, your emotional experiences, and everything that flows from that. So take time to sit in and acknowledge where you are. Then the second card is asking, what's a broader perspective on this issue? So it's allowing you time to think about where you might sit in a wider perspective and a new way of looking at the same situation. You don't need to change the situation at all. This is just giving you the space to consider this from a different angle. So again, you can take time to consider and journal this. And incidentally, for each of these spread placings that I'm talking about, you can select 1 card, but you can of course select more than 1 if you'd find that helpful. And then the third question, the third card, is asking you, if you were free of the worry, if you were free of the anxiety, what new and positive energy might be able to flow into your life if that anxiety was lifted from you? And again, this is not about turning the anxiety off or even thinking you can do that. It's just about sitting in and acknowledging how it would be if you were free of that anxiety. Now, these first 3 cards are based on a process that I've spoken about on this channel before, and that's a self-inquiry process called The Work of Byron Katie. And I've got videos on that on this channel. I'll link those below too. And her process is actually 4 questions and then what she calls a turnaround. Her questions are, is it true? You think of a stressful thought, you write it down, and then you question it. Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? What happens? How do you react when you think that thought, when you believe that thought? Who or what would you be without the thought? And then you turn the thought around. And the process is designed to allow us to experience a different perspective, a different thought about the same situation, and one that allows us to see that there can be different views of the same situation. It's not about making our current view wrong, but it's about seeing that there can be different views of the same situation that are at least as true as the current situation. So this is a truncated way of doing that with these 3 cards. How is the worry impacting upon me? What's a broader perspective on the issue? And if you were free of the worry, if I were free of the worry, what new energy might flow into my life? And just acknowledging that. Then your final 5 cards, or you can choose more if you really want, but these are cards that you think of as your Christmas cheering section. So these are the cards that are going to act as your allies as you go through this Christmas season. Now you can select these either the normal way, randomly face down. You can go through the deck and just trust the deck to give you the cards you need, or you can be a bit more intentional about it and you can go through the deck with the cards face up and select 5 or more cards that you want to act as your Christmas allies as you cope with the anxiety you're experiencing. Now, you can do what you like with these cards to energize them if you like. You can carry them with you. You can lay them out on your altar. You can just have them somewhere where you can see them. But think of them as guardians that are kind of watching over you as you navigate this sometimes very anxious Christmas season. So that's my first offering, and I hope that's useful to you. And again, the Instagram link is below. My next offering is actually a free downloadable guide, a toolkit that you can grab hold of if you sign up for it. Again, I'll put my link below. You simply give your name and email address. You confirm your subscription if you haven't already subscribed to me. If you've already downloaded one of my free guides, then you're already subscribed. So you just put your name and an email address in, and I'll send the link to you immediately. It's all automated. I say that I'll send it, but it's all magically automated by the power of, well, I don't really know what the power is. I just follow the instructions and it happens. It is, though, I hope you can see it, my Resilience toolkit. And what this toolkit is a guide to what I call the 10 resilience reminders. And oh dear, I don't think you can see that. Now I know it's all kind of back to front because of, hang on, hold on. I think that is the way to show it. No, it's all flipping up. I can read them to you. That might be the easiest thing. My 10 resilience reminders are: be realistic, embrace change, stay healthy, identify and nurture your strengths, learn to grow from your challenges, identify and question your assumptions, make time for enjoyment, learn to live in the now, connect with who and what you love, and the 10th one is to energize your resilience practices. That's all the practices that I've just outlined. And what this guide actually does, and what it does for you, is it takes each one of those resilience reminders. So let me give you an example. Identify and nurture your strengths. It gives the definition of this particular reminder. It describes the mindset that we can hold that can help us make this practice a reality in our life. And also it outlines the actions we can take to do that. And then I've ended with a self-coaching question at the bottom of each one of these that helps you to lean into the practice of this reminder. So I hope that toolkit will also be an ally for you during this Christmas season. And it's useful whether you're feeling anxious or challenged by the season or not. It's something that can be useful to anyone that ever has to experience any kind of challenge, and that's all of us, right? So those are my offerings to you, my Christmas offerings to you, my Christmas anxiety spread and my resilience toolkit. Both of the links to those are below. So whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whoever you're with, even if you're just with your beautiful, wonderful self, I wish you as happy a Christmas as it's possible to have. And again, I just want to acknowledge you for being here and for being part of my world too. So thank you very much. Blessings to you.